Hi everyone, thought I'd add my thoughts to the tons of thoughts out there already on the Sig P320 issue. First, my firearm is unloaded and I am pointing it in a safe direction at all times. I'm following the 4 rules of safety as should you, so I'll call this an instructional safety video just for YouTube. Okay, so what are my thoughts? I've been able, this is a Sig P320X full. I've had this for several years. I've got over 8,000 rounds through it. I am a recreational shooter, but I have a pretty in-depth experience in 20 years in the military, both deployed in harsh conditions as well as in garrison. And I've shot pistols all of my life. I'm not a gunsmith, but I am an aeronautical engineer by degree. So my experience with my particular Sig P320, I have full confidence in it. I believe that the article I own, at least, my specific unit in production, out of production, behaves exactly as I would expect it to, and I have not seen anything that would lead me to believe that it will not continue to function exactly as I expect. The experimentations that you've seen on YouTube where, you do a partial trigger pull, because that's ultimately what it is that they're doing, a partial trigger pull, and then wiggling the slide, and mine has the same amount of play. I've been able to reproduce that in mine occasionally. But even so, I do not feel that my firearm is inherently unsafe the way I use it, and I always follow those 4 rules of safety. So I'm going to continue to shoot mine. I love to shoot it. It's, in my opinion, a great firearm. I also use it for, I have it on hand, ready for self-defense purposes, home defense. So I'm not going to bench mine. I'm not going to sell. I'm going to keep it. Now, that said, I do believe there is a problem with the firearms that had the unintentional discharge. Very clearly on one video, I see a left-handed operator with their finger not on the trigger, and the weapon appears to be, firearm appears to be in reasonably clean condition, not like a deployed condition where it's rolling in the sand or the dirt in the mud, or deployed in a jungle where no one's been able to clean it for several weeks and it's just full of gunk. And even if it was full of gunk, I've never seen or heard of a situation where there's enough gunk in there that it's caused a firearm to discharge. So I think that what's being demonstrated is valid, but I'm not sure that that's the problem. And with tens of thousands of these out there, if it was an endemic issue, just statistically, I would have expected to see more instances of that unintentional behavior where a round goes off and nobody's on the trigger. So just from a number standpoint, I'm not certain that it's an endemic issue or this partial trigger pull and wiggle the slide was a contributor to it. Certainly that is a behavior, but is it a contributor? Well, we don't know. And without anything from Sig, guess what, Sig? We're going to continue to experiment, and we may find more of these things that just erode more confidence in the safety of these firearms. Personally, myself, again, I follow the 4 rules at all times, and I don't do this, and my finger's only on the trigger when I intend to fire it, and it's clean. So I do not believe that the experimentation of that in YouTube is something I'm going to worry about. It's just my choice with my particular production unit. Sig, you need to go and get those firearms that had that problem of unintentional discharge. In particular, the one where the guy does not have his finger on the trigger, because clearly he is not pulling the trigger. That one clearly is a good one to tear apart, spec the parts, have the engineers look at it, test it, put it back together, go out and test it in various conditions and states, and find out what can cause that particular production unit to fire without pulling the trigger. And, tell us, is it full of gunk and it, is the same kind of behavior as a partial trigger pull and wiggling, and it's the same result as doing that? Well, then tell us that, and then fix it. And we'll happily go on our way, just like when an automaker finds a problem with the brakes. They give us a recall, we turn them in, they fix it, they give it back, and we continue to happily drive their vehicles, and we may buy another one. But the way you're handling this and running away from it instead of running closer to it and examining it in detail and then telling us what you find and what you're going to do, you have just convinced me that, well, I'm going to continue to shoot this one, and it's one of my favorite pistols, and it will remain so. I'm just not going to buy another Sig product, because if I happen to have something that I think is an endemic issue, I have no faith that you're going to do anything to help keep me safe. And that's the bottom line. Sig,